Hey man, what's shaking?
What's up? What's up, man? What's up?
Too much drama, man. Too
Yeah.
much drama, and I think there's a lot of misunderstanding going on. But look, let's just be out with it. Be fully frank. I'm good with that. I wanna bury all this shit because I hate this stuff. So,
Okay.
uh, what you got for me, man?
Oh no, I figured that instead of like, talking around it and at talking at audience and all that good stuff, I figure that why not talk directly? Definitely if you know, I'm saying something about you or you saying something about me, I figure why not talk directly. I've been with you on that. I think this whole kind of ordeal is gay,
Hundred
and
percent.
should be ended. However, I think in order for that to kind of be on the table, if that's something that we both want, you remember I told you this initially, we need to be honest about it, and let's not act like this is one of those, hey, this is this guy versus that guy thing. That's not what this is. I didn't start this or
You definitely
anything. I
did
had
not.
nothing to do. I had nothing to do with any of that. But yeah, it's reached kind of a level that is, it's gay. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and to be very clear, I don't know if you heard or saw, or maybe you did and you didn't think it was genuine, and I don't know. But I did say that, Riley going to your place of business, while I don't think it was illegal, and we may have some disagreements over that, and there may be details that I can't see in regards to the property, but from what I've seen, I don't think it's illegal. But I did say, bad move. He shouldn't do it. Given the tension, I think it's a really, really bad play. I don't like people doing that shit. I wouldn't want them doing it to me either. I get it. So that was the thing I said last night when it was brought up to me. I wasn't aware of it until someone super chatted, and I had to like look in. Or I might have seen it or something, but someone super chatted, and I addressed it right then in my last stream. So I do
Okay.
not think he should have gone to your place of business at all. But at the same time, like if people ask me about legalities, specifically self-defense, like I'm
Yeah.
going to give them my legal opinion. That's still true. And I think right before uh, we got, or that I saw that you were in chat, I was saying that there are two practicalities, right? There's what you can legally do, and then there's what you should and shouldn't do. And I think what Riley did is something you shouldn't do.
Mhm.
So I want to be very
Well,
clear on that.
I'm cool with that. There is a point of contention there. I'm obviously not a lawyer, but I'm at least familiar enough with it, certainly with our team as well as what's actually happening on it. Again, my issue with it is less legal versus illegal anyway. But again, I do question that whole legality aspect of it all because, yeah, I make the argument, and certainly everybody here is making the argument that for sure, definitely considering at nighttime, that is criminal mischief, right? And
Again, it's
definitely because he's
oh,
writing on stuff and he's putting notes up and all that good stuff. And in Texas, if you don't know, you can, by the way, and this is what, not anything that I'm advocating, right? I want to be
no,
very, very clear about that. But, definitely because we're talking about the legality of deadly force and all that good
mhm.
stuff in Texas, you committing a criminal mischief at night, you absolutely have the right. It's right there in Section 9 of the Texas Penal Code, and you can read it verbatim. It specifically addresses you being able to use deadly force for someone committing criminal mischief at night on your property. So, but however, that aside, because that was never really on the table. The argument about that, I don't know if you're more so hearing that from, be it our audiences or something of that nature, as far as deadly force. The only argument that I've made is that it is irrational for someone that does not want to be there, that people don't want to be there, right? And there is more information on that for someone to come there, right? Definitely with us having armed guards there and, committing any sort of weird stuff. That's just not rational for anybody, especially people that, considering that I'm not there and, you're dealing with other people and their individual livelihoods. Because look, you might think it's a joke and it's all good and all fun and games, Nick, but for
No, I
us,
clearly stated I don't think that it was a good thing to do. Like
right.
that.
And I just wanted to be clear that I definitely, as a business owner, cannot afford to treat it as if it's just, hey, it's something that's a joke and it's just jokes, bro. Definitely considering that, again, I'm not ever there, and that is a building that other people don't like weird folks doing weird stuff, be it to the building, because nobody knows if it's going to escalate to anything else. And I don't know these cats, but that's not something that I would take lightly either way it goes. So legality aside, that is something that I think is just weird and kind of off the wall.
Yeah, of course. And obviously the law doesn't matter if you got a hole in you, right? Like it doesn't matter for that guy. That guy's dead. He's done. And people who do that again, Alex Stein does that shit. I'm not a big fan of that. I like when he goes to the public meetings. I think that's funny. But when you go into other people's businesses and into other people's lives, I mean, you are taking a risk, legal, not legal. No bones about that. But I gotta. But one, I'll affirm what you said. Texas does have a use of deadly force in defense of property against criminal mischief only at night. I'm unclear. Did he show up at night or during the day?
Because he showed that whole deal where he left the markings and all the drawings and stuff on it. That was at night.
That's at night. Like what time of night? What time?
That was like roughly. I'm not exactly. It was around like 11 something like that. It was well within the night. The sun was completely down.
Yeah, it's like pretty. Well, the video is well lit. I don't know where the light's coming from.
Well, no, like, not when he stuck that. I mean, maybe it was well lit in terms of the light, but it was clearly at night when he did it. There was he didn't. The only thing that he did was kind of weird. He kind of drove in and he backed up and he drove past it during the day and took a picture. But other than that, that was it. He never did anything like that during the day. That was at night. There was nobody there.
Sure, and I don't know, so I'm taking your word at it, full faith. Like I have no problem accepting that it was at night. I wanted to clarify from someone who knew, because like I said, from the video, it's never clear how lighting shit plays out. So with that said, though, the funny part about law is like there are disagreements over stuff that many people find obvious. And I got to take one issue with you just on the criminal mischief, which is what Texas calls vandalism. Criminal mischief almost always requires some level of damage or burden on someone. So I think you're running a real risk with suggesting that stickers on a window is going to come out to be criminal
According
mischief.
to the penal code, though, it specifically says markings include inscriptions, slogans, and drawings. That's all it says. So whether it's damage, I mean, if you're talking about damage, yes, that's included. If you can break the window and do all that good stuff, obviously that is completely obvious. And, I'm willing to accept a disagreement, but certainly our guys on that side don't see it that way. And to be honest, I think that's what matters. However, and it's not like,
again, I don't know. Like, it's not what matters though, because what matters is what a prosecutor sees, right?
Exactly.
And how the law is played out. And so I'm gonna offer a mild rebuttal and simply say that inscriptions, markings, and stuff like that is referring to graffiti, to marker, to something that's actually applied to the property that would take some sort of effort to remove. And if you read a little farther into the statute, you'll actually see them explain that there has to be some sort of pecuniary loss or economic burden in either the damage to the property or the removal from the property. And mere incidental annoyances in removing something like a sticker doesn't usually measure up. Now, of course, there are some stickers, right? That a huge sticker that you slap on, you got to hire someone to like use solvents and shit to remove it. These look like relatively small stickers that would pop off without any effort. I think you'd be on real shaky ground. Not you, sorry, you weren't there, but anyone would be on real shaky ground trying to justify putting a hole in someone over those stickers, or even suggesting that a prosecutor would, or a cop even would write an infractionary ticket on this misdemeanor offense. Like, there's no way, man. It's not spray paint.
Well, again, it's not necessarily we see it that way. Definitely considering that, there were drawings that were actually there, and there's some weird stuff that was read on it. And, I'm not going to sit up here, wrote on it. I'm not going to sit here and repeat it by any means. But, I see that, that being your sort of position, and that it's always been the case, or you feel like that's generally the case of to justify putting a hole or attempting to put a hole in someone. Our guys don't see it that way, and I've seen people get aired out for a lot less. However, I don't even think
I would highly suggest an alternative opinion on counsel if you think a sticker with a $20 bill under it justifies. If that's their legal advice,
not the argument though. That's where I think the gaslighting is, though, Nick, because that's not the position. The position isn't that. Okay, I'm trying to make the argument that to justify putting a hole in someone. What I'm talking about, and what the only argument it is that I'm making in this regards, because again, shooting someone over a sticker, that would be silly. Though it wasn't simply that. I think it's being kind of disingenuous to even just kind of classify it as, oh, this guy just merely, just being funny, just put a couple of stickers up. That was, they just threw on there, and like that, there was nothing being said, or no drawings or any of that had anything to do with
equation. I don't know what was there a threat of violence?
Yeah, of course there's been actionable threats, and my argument But even
What's
that,
the threat?
the reason the guy was there was because of that. He's recorded himself on video saying that, well, this is supposedly an actionable threat. Whether you now the old argument is that we think
Riley's retarded. His legal opinion's
all right,
irrelevant.
well, no. I'm saying
what's
that's
threat?
what.
Like,
All
just
right,
what's
all
the
right,
threat?
all right. So my position is someone, first of all, is stalking for someone to drive across the country to appear at a business that again isn't public. And when I say it's not public, Rekieta, I'm not saying that someone can't access it. That's not the argument it is that I'm making. I'm saying that this is not something that there's no commerce happening there, right? In that specific building that we are at. The only way that you can get in, there are two ways that you can get in. There's a gate, there's a private gate that you can get in that way, or you can drive. There is a road where you can kind of drive in, but that does not face, it's not a road.
You can drive into a driveway into the parking lot, right?
Yeah, you can drive into a driveway into the parking lot, and that's why our stuff is strategic.
Is there a gate on that driveway into the parking lot?
No. There's not into that parking lot. No, there's no gate. The gate is around on the other side, which is the only other way to access it. However, where we're at, you cannot drive. There's no place to go going that direction towards our building. That will then, like, you can't. There's no reason to be over there other than, let's say, again, you're coming to see us, you're invited, or something of that nature. There's no drive-through. Like, our building is sectioned that way, the way that it is. It's us, and that's it. That gate that is there, and that's it. You cannot drive through our building to get, or our side of that building to get somewhere else. That's not how the design of it is. Is there a gate
blocking off that side of the building?
Yes, correct. On that side, there absolutely is a gate blocking both sides, actually, because on the end of that street, or not a street, I guess that road, whatever you want to call it, it is the parking lot, right, if you will. There are two gates on either side. This is why he drove through, had to turn around to get out, because that's the only way that you can get in or out on that particular side. So again,
wait, clarify, please. Sorry, can you said at first that there was a gate on one side, but the other side didn't have a gate, and there was a driveway from the road into it.
Correct. That side is still the same, but I mean, you have to see it, is what it is that I'm saying.
You have a picture?
The other, I'm certainly not showing it online. I do have one for sure. And I'm sure.
Can you privately send it to me? I won't pull it up. Can you message it to me?
I guess, yeah. But I'm gonna explain how it is that it is. Yes, sure. Nick, you can get to it from the road, and there's no gate there. What I'm saying is the only other way to get in is a gate on the opposite side. So, for example, our building is at the end of this lot, if you want to call it that. You can get out during that lot, but there are two gates on both sides, right? That's the only way you can get in, and the only way you can get out without driving through the side that the idiot came from, right?
But
that's what I'm saying.
I know, but this is so confusing, because now you're saying there's gates on either side.
Yes.
But then you're saying that he drove through another side and got in.
So look at it like three sides, because there's nothing but fencing on the other, on one side, right? So you have a fence. Look at it like this, like you got a fence, right? And then on opposite sides of that fence, right, is our building, right? You can get out. So get on the street, do whatever you need to do. There are two sides. If you went left or if you went right, there are gates on both sides. There is only one way, if you're not entering through that gate, to get into where our building is. Not everybody else's building. To get into where our building is, there's only one way to get in, not using those two gates.
So there's a way to get in without using the gate.
Correct.
Okay, but yeah, like you see the issue there, right? That there is a publicly accessible way in without a gate.
Issue as far as what?
Well, I mean, okay, so you can have, if you have three entrances and two gates, and one of them is just an ungated entrance to a public road, that's not fenced in. That's not gated.
Not from that side. It's not. No.
Yeah, no.
But I'm saying, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean as far as the issue? I'm not understanding what it is you're meaning there.
But if you can drive in from a public road, I'm having trouble seeing it as private. Is all. That's
all right. So now it's more of a I guess semantics, or you want to argue illegal. I'm not trying to understand. I'm not making the argument that you can't get there. Like anybody can't just drive up into let's say, to get to our building. That's not the argument I'm making. The only position it is that I have is that our building, as far as accessing it and being in there, like anywhere near there, the only reason why someone would need to be there is if they were invited there.
Or
That
they
is not
just
a public
drove into
address.
the, they just drove into the
Yeah,
driveway.
you just drove into. When I'm talking about
but you don't need an invitation to drive into the driveway, right? Like,
no, you don't need an invitation to drive into the driveway. What I'm saying
Okay.
is there's no reason for someone to be there. I think there's been some confusion because some people maybe saw like a logo on the side or something. They thought it was a storefront that was facing the store. It's not.
Oh no, I don't think it's a storefront.
Well, I'm not.
at all.
No,
I think,
I'm just
okay,
making.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just making the case. But
Right.
that's what I mean, and that's the point of contention, Nick. When I'm saying like, hey, it's not this guy showed up to a place that is a private location. It's not our public address. There's no reason for there to be commerce or anything as far as us doing business with other people. There's no you can't even get into our actual building without either keypad access or what have you. That's the only way you can get inside our actual building.
Did he go in the building?
No, he didn't go in it.
Okay,
Again, he wouldn't have been able to get in there. Yeah.
On the open side that he would have had to drive through to get in, because obviously he doesn't have the gate key. And you said, I think you said he drove in from that open side, right? Right. Is there like a sign that says no access or private property or anything like that? No trespassing. Is there any clear posting that would indicate to someone they can't come in there?
No.
Okay, you're on real shaky ground saying it's private then, man. Like legally.
Right. Again, you're using private in a context that I'm not using it in. So I'm okay with you using it legally.
Mine's the legal context because I'm answering legal questions. That's all.
Correct. And I totally empathize with that and what it is you're saying. That has absolutely nothing to do with the argument it is that I'm making.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
That I have. I've never obviously, yeah, he was there. No shit. You can get there by just driving up in there. That's never been the point of contention by anybody here.
Okay.
The only argument that we're making when we're talking about public versus private is that it's not a storefront. There's no reason for anybody to be over there. We don't have that as our public address. There's no reason for anybody to be. That's the only position it is that we have on that.
So when you say there's no reason to be there, I'm just curious, like, and don't take this the wrong way because I'm trying to understand what's the relevance of that.
The relevance of that because there was no reason for him to be there.
Right, but like, do you need a reason to be somewhere in the U.S.?
Say what?
Do you need a reason to be somewhere in the United States?
As far as what?
I don't know.
Well, the guy went there. All right, so
I sat in a parking lot the other day. I didn't have a reason. I just needed a place to park.
Okay.
I know he's there. I know he's there to visit your business.
Well, that's the only point it is that I'm making. A psychopath showed up and he was not invited there. That's the point it is that I'm making.
Is Riley? I mean, Riley's dumb, but is he a psychopath?
Yeah, something like it. I like to think he's a crazy son of a bitch for sure.
Are you scared of Riley?
No, but I cannot not take that serious considering that he showed up to a place of business that I'm not there and I have employees. Nick, surely you can empathize with that, right?
Again, I said I wouldn't want him to do it to me.
Let me finish real quick. Somebody sees a fat, stinky person, doing whatever gay shit outside of a building, right? And we know that the person drove across the fucking nation, right, to do this weird shit. And he's dicking around out front, and he's online high side and saying that he's gonna keep doing it. Surely you can at least admit that is some weird shit, and that is a cause for concern for people for security reasons that are there, especially other folks that work there, because we can't take the guy's word for it that it's just a joke. That's you can at least understand that, correct?
That's been my position the whole time. That what he did was dumb.
Okay. Yeah. What he did was dumb. And that's what it is that I'm saying as far as me being scared or me fearing for that has nothing to do with anything. I wasn't even there and I'm not there. Right. But other people are. And we can't sit up here and I can't afford to just be like, and nor can our security team afford to just be like, yeah, it's just a guy just dicking around. Like, we can't afford to do that. It's, forgive me, I don't really trust him that's all that he'd leave it at is just hot-siding on the internet and taking pictures and stuff.
I'm not saying you need to take his word on it. I'm just trying to get in the mindset here. So you say that you have to take it seriously. What do you mean by that? Like, what does that entail? Just that. Like, we have to take it seriously. Like, I can't just sit up here and approach it as if it's just some guy that's joking, right? I have no idea if he's going to come back, do some other gay shit, escalate that because he is bad shit. I have no idea. And it would be ill-advised, for lack of better terms, for us to pretend like nothing could come from that. Definitely considering that the guy is at least crazy enough to drive all the way over here to appear at an address that he had no business being there. Where did he drive from?
I have no idea. He's not from here.
Well, you keep saying across the country, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, well, he's not from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he drove specifically from where he left to you to do this? Like that?
Correct. Yes.
Did you have any other purpose in driving? across the country? Like,
I like to think not.
well, you think not, or do you know?
I don't know.
Like,
Nick.
what if he was going somewhere else, like, and
just
stopped
happened
there
to
on the way?
just stop by. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that it's not, even though he said that he was going to end up doing that, Nick, he just up and did it, and he would just happen to be in town.
Okay, but again, like, it's there's a lot of ascriptions that happen, and I'm trying to just get the story from it. Like, look, dude,
All right.
Riley.
So here's the story. The story is the guy is some weird shit, injected himself into into this goofy shit, and he went to our place, that a business that he had no business being at, and he showed up doing weird shit. And yes, that's going to be a cause of concern for the people that are there. And no, I'm not going to take it lightly. I can't afford to, because in the event that, let me say this, because in the event that it does escalate, I'm the one that has to deal with that.
Yeah, and so now I'm trying to get to the next step. So you said you got to take it serious. I agree. Did anybody ask him to leave?
Say what? Did
anybody ask him to leave the property?
Not to my knowledge. He never spoke to anybody here.
Did anybody call the police?
Well, I'm sure they did after the fact. Our security team, we had to, as a CYA.
Well, you're sure they did, or
no?
They
did? I'm positive they did. Yeah.
So okay.
Yes, they had to, as a CYA. You could surely understand that, Nick.
I mean, I don't know that they had to. There's no legal requirement.
I'm saying that you understand why, as a CYA, you gotta call the law boys.
I understand it would be reasonable. Did the police follow up? Is there an incident report?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Cool. Like, that's a good thing. I'm glad.
No, it is. Again, that's as a CYA. I have to do that. I have to do that. And surely you understand that.
Yeah, of course. So, are the police going to pursue a trespass against him?
Oh, we'll see about that.
We'll see. They didn't indicate anything to you?
No, they have, but we'll see. Let them do their thing. Obviously, you understand why I wouldn't want to talk about all of that.
No, but that's fine.
Okay.
Like, I'm not.
That's fine.
I don't determine what people should and shouldn't do. So, like, I'm not.
Okay. Well, just in case some shit hits the fan, I'm good on that. But yeah, they obviously are aware of it. They have to be.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to say anything either way. I just, like, again, I don't put words in people's mouths. I just don't do it. So, okay. So they call the police. Riley's gone before police show up. Did the police show up, or did they just talk on the phone?
No, they went there. They went to the building. Yeah. Those security guys were all there. Yeah.
Okay. Again, I don't know this. So I'm just asking for clarity because it's not online. So, or I haven't seen it if it is. But, so then the next question though is, you mentioned like some writings and stuff like that. And you said actionable threat. And you've used a couple things, and this is a frustrating part about talking law, because you've said a couple things that are terms of art in law that have specific definitions and specifically.
Okay. All right. So let me. All right. I'll go ahead and clarify what it exactly is that I mean.
Yeah. Thank you.
The weirdo has made it abundantly clear that he absolutely plans to continue to appear right wherever I'm at. And yeah, he's talked about this old gay shit of trying to shave someone's body and all that other gay shit, which is, again, that's fucking weird. But nonetheless,
do you think he's going to shave you?
Do
you think he's going to?
I don't know what the guy would attempt to do. I would hope like hell nobody would come up to me with a fucking razor, because I'm gonna have to act accordingly. That'd be fucking goofy.
Stupid, right?
Yeah, that'd be stupid. But you just admitted that he's a fucking idiot earlier. So All right. So yeah, 100%. we can't pull it past him that he would try to actually do some old stupid shit like that.
But
as gay as it might be.
Again, clarifying, because I'm just trying to have all the facts here. So the threats have entailed showing up where you are, and presumably in public places. Like, for example, if you're going to go to a convention, he'd show up at a convention.
Well, that I don't know. I don't know exactly all of where because obviously the line that he's willing to cross is going to a place where we have my employees. So maybe he would show up to me somewhere else or something of that nature. But really, that's not the issue. I can handle myself, and I can protect myself if some weirdo wanted to run up on me. In fact, I invite that if there was a conversation that someone wanted to have, definitely in the public sphere, I'm all for that. Like, if I'm at a con, you want to have a discussion with me, that's fine. Don't show up to my house. And do not show up to a place of like that I got employees. That's I feel like that's a reasonable thing, a reasonable ask.
So you're okay with people coming up to you randomly in public, but not coming up to a place of business?
Correct. Yeah, because that's dealing with other people that aren't me.
I mean, but did he deal with anybody that wasn't you?
Well, I have people that work there, right?
Right. Did he deal with it? You said no one spoke to him.
Right. Well, what it is that I'm saying is that he's appearing at a place that I have other people work at, Nick. So whether he
hear
did it
you.
through, yeah, that's the only point it is that I'm making. So don't come to my house. Don't come to a place of business. That's the only position it is that I have. If you want to have a discussion, whatever it is, just don't do any weird shit. I have to act accordingly if it's any weird shit. But yeah, coming to like a place where I got employees and all that, I feel like that's certainly drawing the line. You have no business being over there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So getting back to it, the question is, the threats are showing up in public, which you now say you invite. So that can't be a threat then, right?
Yeah. Say what?
Showing up in public, like where you are, you said you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I don't know what it is that he wouldn't do, but I would still act accordingly. Make no mistake. Like I have no idea to what all of that means, right? So, for anybody that I don't trust, I'm cautious and I'm weary. I'm aware of my surroundings. If it was cordial, all right, bet that. But if I got any sniff that it was anything but that, then I have to of course act accordingly. But that's not what it is that we're dealing with. We don't even need to be speaking in hypothetical situations. In that regards, at minimum, the guy's willing to, and he has, because he actually has. It's not that he's willing to show at a place that I have employees and stuff working in. That goes for anybody uninvited that they don't want there. That you can't do that.
So you have lawyers that you talk to about this situation. Like that's when you're saying our guys, you're talking about a legal team, right?
Yes.
Have they advised you to put I don't say what they've advised you to do. If they have not advised you to put up privacy signs on the open road that you can go into the parking lot with, like, again, you may need some counsel on some of this stuff that is
that's not the point of contention, man. Like him, look, I'm not oblivious to the fact that no matter where it is that I'm out, that also appears to my applies to my house. Someone somewhere at some point is going to figure out where our various locations are at. So, and how to get to them if they actually want to. That doesn't matter who it is that you are. That's not the issue. The issue isn't simply that, a guy knew it where it was that we were at. It's the problem is that someone's willing to go out of their way to, whether it be for a long-standing gag or whatever it is, showing up at a place that I have other people working and employees. And again, I can't treat that like he wouldn't do anything else. That's just weird. That's just
which is why I'm suggesting that you should talk to your counsel about the reasonable aspect of putting up signs indicating it's not publicly accessible.
Well, which we can do that, but that's not really the point. That's not the point of contention here. That's not that was never anything that was argued at any point.
Probably will be on that trespass. Like for the cops, like it probably will be a point on the trespass.
Well, again,
like if I was his lawyer, I would say,
right, okay,
there's a publicly accessible road and an open driveway that you can drive into.
That's not all the issue it is that I have here, Nick. The issue is not that he was able to even get over there. That's not the point of contention by any means. So while I understand what it is that you're saying, as far as, I would advise you to do all this and that, all that has been taken care of, but that's not the thing that I take exception to. Yeah, of course, man. People can get to a warehouse or wherever it is that you're at. Again, that can also apply. That can apply to my house. You know what I mean? People eventually will find where to be and all other stuff. But that's not what it is that I'm contending. I'm contending no matter if you know where it is or not. I feel like I'm at least owed the courtesy of someone not showing up uninvited to do kind of weird stuff. It definitely, once you made it abundantly clear that you don't really got it all upstairs.
And I agree with you, but you just said it's the same as your house. It's actually not the same as your house.
All right. In the sense of what it is that I'm saying, Nick, I get that.
I'm trying to help you make it the same as your house.
Nick, I get that a house and a business is different. You don't have to legally explain it to me. I understand that.
You're taking this the wrong way, man. You're thinking I'm trying to tell you that you're in the wrong, and I'm trying to tell you.
No, I'm not saying that you're trying to tell me I'm in the wrong, Nick. All I'm saying is what I'm referring to when I say that it doesn't matter. And the point of contention it is that I have with why I take exception to it has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not it is my house, whether or not it is building A, B, or C it is that we have. You surely understand it. I'm not foolish enough to think that there's not a difference between my business and a house. I know there very well is. I know that even from a legal perspective, there can be some differentiation there. I am totally aware of that, but that's not the point of contention. That's not what it is that I'm saying.
All right. I'm trying to help, but that's fine.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to help, Nick.
Okay. So are there any other threats? So the one threat I've heard is that he was going to hold you down, shave your arms, which I think is ridiculous, but you have no reason to believe, and I have no reason to believe he's not serious. I don't know. So that I've heard that, and then it was a public thing, but you just said that if it is in a public place, like you welcome that so long as people are cool. So then what was there another threat? Is there something else?
That's good enough. That's good enough. Yeah. That's good enough. And even doing that, saying that all that weird stuff online, the guys are free to say that. Only place I draw the line is just don't show up to a person's house, be it myself, employees, and don't show up to the job. That's it.